Well, the morning after bad decisions. And I'm sitting in my office, yes, with my sunglasses on. They say the eyes are the window to the soul, and maybe I don't want to tell too much. I don't want my eyes to contradict what my words are saying. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to take them off in a second. But yeah, slept on it, got up early, got some laundry done, got into my home office early, check on work and make sure I had an appointment canceled. So that was kind of nice. But anyway, so here we go. I'll take my glasses off. The my takeaways for this are, there's 7, of course, OT7, and I'm just going to do them 7 up to 1, okay? And I really am building as I go. But number 7, and I think the elephant in the room, is that when I first heard that they were collabing with Snoop Dogg, okay, the first, like reveal was back in January when Snoop was on some radio show and he was talking about, yeah, this group BTS, blah, 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 and my kids told me I need to, if I could do that, I should, blah, blah, right? And then it became official around the Grammy time. I think Snoop said something somewhere close to the Grammy time. And so I was really thinking that this is going to be like a BTS Snoop collab where it was going to be Snoop Dogg, it was going to be BTS, they were going to bring their sounds together, and it was going to be a pretty amazing thing, right? Well, so I think I was expecting more of a BTS driven collab, since the initial conversation about it back in January was BTS is trying to contact Snoop. Now, Benny Blanco wouldn't need BTS to contact Snoop for them, for him, okay? So I was thinking it was just going to be a whole different sort of genre of things. So, but looking back on, what they said during Festa, and just even the break they took right after the American Music Awards last year, they were going to be looking at doing some different things. They had to be working on a lot of this stuff even during that time. And so yeah, I think that's kind of the elephant in the room. I was just expecting a different style. I was expecting BTS with Snoop. And so yeah, so that's interesting. Number 6 is, that these collabs, have been in the works for a long time. And I expected with this collab that it would be more along the lines of that that with Suga and Psy, or With You with Jimin and Sungwoo. So, but both of those were Korean artists, by the way. And this is what I was thinking about as I was even writing down my notes, is that, and so naturally that would feel more BTS like to me, because BTS is a Korean group. So, and the flavor of their music. So, I guess that's what, kind of my expectations were. Number 5, the video was distracting me from the song itself. In fact, I guess upon watching it more and more, I might see some correlation, but initially my first watch, the video and the song didn't go together for me at all. And so it was, my mind was kind of working on 2 frequencies, like, okay, let me watch, my eyes are what's coming in, but also let me hear what I'm hearing. And so that was kind of a fight in my head, if that makes sense. So I had to watch the video a couple more times to digest it, and listen to the song just on, my Alexa 3 or 4 times to digest it. And I don't know that I think they go together, but anyway, it's okay. That was just my thought. That's number 5. Number 4, let me find it here. I got to tell you about my music background and why this is kind of different for me, is that I have from 1980 to 2011, there's this gap. And I don't know, that's 31 years, I think. Let's see, 80, 90, yeah, 31-year gap in my music background. And so what that means is, not all music, but I listen primarily to gospel music, Christian, contemporary Christian music, etc., right? So that was what I did for 31 years, and only heard breakthrough songs by really, really well-known artists like Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston or someone like that, right? And so my ear is not attuned to the pop vibe sound. It's just not. And so I wouldn't be able to really sort out if this is going to be a hit from a pop perspective, or if this is really great from a pop perspective. So that's my music background. So when I listen to this, you know, my ear, you know, is acclimated to the BTS sound because that's what I started listening to last fall in September, when someone, you know, said, hey, you should listen to BTS, blah, blah, blah. And that's when I became ARMY, right? So my ear is acclimated to that. And so as I'm listening to them venture out into these other types of sounds, I'm comparing, and maybe that's not fair. That's number 4. Number 3, you know, after watching the video a few times, this is this is Benny Blanco's kind of ode to BTS. This is his journey. It's almost like a testimony video, like we would say in church, about how, you know, much he loves BTS, and now he knows BTS, and I want to be like them. And I know a lot of people on social media are talking about he's clowning ARMY and all this other stuff, but I kind of see it. I didn't even think about it from that perspective at all, and maybe that's just me, but I kind of looked at him doing all these things and showing all these things, and maybe it even being like a testimony of his process of really understanding how much he liked BTS. And so he wanted to express it in this video, and then have this song be the backdrop for it. I mean, I really think that's what it is, because even from him in his little, you know, TikTok clips saying, can I be in the group, and why can't I be in the group, or just being a fanboy. To me, that's what this is. It's like, I'm telling the world that I'm a fanboy of this group, and that I am so thrilled that this group even knows my name and wants to do anything with me, and I'm so happy that they're in it. I'm so happy. I mean, that's what that is to me. And, you know, so he went overboard, and he made a cake, and I don't know if there's his mom in the picture with him or what. I have to watch it again. But it's like, it's a fanboy video. That's all I can say. You know, down to dressing exactly like Jimin in one of the, I think it was one of the butter performances, and the lavender, you know, and yeah, I can see how ARMY would say, oh, he's clowning us because he's picking out the outfit and he's doing this poster, and ARMY would never do this. Oh, stop it, people. Stop the mess. This is no different than any of us doing a video and gushing over how much we like BTS. That's my take on that one. Okay, now getting to what's really important, the song. Okay, the song itself. I love the song. I don't know why everybody's obsessing over what lyrics Jungkook is singing, or even Jin. Okay, Jin's my bias. I do like what he said. Okay, don't make me wait. I won't make you wait, Jin. I promise. But have you read any of BTS lyrics to their songs? Come on, people. It's not like they say, it's not like they have been saying about this, but here's the deal. It's in English. So we don't have to translate. We don't have to read. We're hearing them singing in English with our ears. So I get it. You're tripping. It's freaking you out. I understand. But I do like the song. I like, I like to hear them sing, you know, and it is a different vibe in English to hear them sing in English, and they're singing like a pop song, you know, and it's not something that, you know, would necessarily tag to them. But after Permission to Dance, and after Butter, and after what's the last one, the first one, I mean, Dynamite, you know, and even kind of Life Goes On, we kind of have seen that they're experimenting, and they're experimenting with a different sound, and really, and part of that is them wanting to transition from being K-pop artists to artists. No description, just artists, so that they can sing and dance and do whatever kind of genre of music they want. And then finally, number 1 is, you know, they're collaborating with American artists to experiment. They're the fact that people want to collab with them in the largest music industry in the world is an honor to them. But I don't think yet it has fully sunk in how good they really are to them. And I think that you see that in the lyrics of Even Yet to Come, is that, all the titles, all the awards and all that stuff, I'm not about that. And it's kind of I think it's a reflection of their heart, but at the same time, I think it's a form of denial, because whether they're about it or not, they are it. They are the biggest band in the world. They have clout beyond anybody's imagination. Okay, they can just be on something, and that something is going to sell out. This is the reality of who they've become. And over a 9-year public period, but a longer period, that 2 or 3 years beforehand, as they were gathering the group and the bonding and all this stuff, they did this together. And so as they launch out individually into these collabs and doing different things, they're trying to find, okay, what is it I really like, and what kind of artist do I really want to be, and do I really want to go here, or do I really want to go there, what kind of style do I want to be associated with? And I don't have any doubt that they do vetting and that they really think through who they decide to collab with. So I'll just end with that it's a grand experiment. And how I would characterize, this process they're in, I have to use something I can relate to, and it might seem, cringe to some of you younger people out there, but is my sewing. I've always sewn, but I had a business at one time doing wedding gowns and formal wear, which is a very distinct type of sewing, okay? Very, very distinct. And I did that, for 5, 6, 7 years while I was home with my kids. And then I went to work. I joined a quilt group and started doing quilting, which is completely, okay, you guys, completely different type of sewing, right? But it's still sewing. And I had to find kind of my niche there and the kinds of things I wanted to do. And I took time and took some classes, and I went to different shows, and I did all these different things to kind of figure that piece out. And now that is a part of my journey and my quilting, and I put some of it on this app. So that's the closest thing I can feel to it, but it's still the same like base, which is sewing. And also, one of the things I'm good at, what I do, I'm good at sewing. I made beautiful gowns and had great customers, blah, blah, blah. And my quilting is good too. It's really good. It's been in shows and museums. So I think, it's just finding that niche that you feel comfortable in, and also being comfortable to move out of that and do some other things, and just kind of go with the flow for a minute before reconvening back and saying, hey, I think this is what I want to be about now for the next 2 to 3 albums or 4 albums or 5 albums. But I can say this, I'm really excited about hearing whatever solo stuff that Jimin, if it's just a song, or Taeyang, if it's just a song, or Jin, I hope he puts out a whole album. Honestly, I think if he put out an album, it would just be like platinum, because they're trying to get him into the acting though. But I mean, it would just be amazing. All of the vocalists, should do something just so we can see what's in their heart. So that's what I have to say. I know it's kind of long. I'm gonna have to trim this down a lot before I post it. But thanks for listening. Bye.